Hello, 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 and welcome to Three Amigos Ink and Splatter, The Lonely Soul in the Darkness, Volume 1, Issue 1, Artist in the Spotlight. I'm your host, Marie Moldovan, and this evening, the artist in the spotlight is Deonn Angleton. And I know that was a really, really, really long title. Super long, a mouthful and a half. But it's the title of the book, and you can get it on Amazon. It is an anthology that features artists from all over the world and is published by Ain't Your Marionette Publishing. And it is compiled by the group Three Amigos Ink and Splatter, and it is part of the Lonely Soul in the Darkness collection. This volume actually has 5 issues, and today I'm going to be reading from issue 1, as the title says, Three Amigos Ink and Splatter, The Lonely Soul in the Darkness, Volume 1, Issue 1. Now I'll just move forward and tell you a little bit about Deonn. Deonn refers to herself as an old blind hippie who enthusiastically relishes poetry and reading in general. Her hometown, Eureka Springs, Arkansas, is a little artsy tourist village nestled in the Ozark Hills in the northwest Arkansas, just south of the Missouri border, and it is brimming with artists, writers, musicians, and camaraderie. She currently lives in Tucson. Deonn is an amazing artist. I love her poetry, and I have a tendency to kind of lump painting, multimedia, writing of any kind into the global package underneath the umbrella of artistry, because to me, it's all art. It's beautiful, whether it is the expression of your pen or a stroke of a brush. The poem that I'm going to be reading of Deonn's today is Ribbons in Black. And the art, if you are tuning in and watching the video, is by Marie Moldovan, which is me. And the poem will be narrated by me. But if you're not, well, the poem I'll be reading is Ribbons in Black by Deonn Angleton, our featured artist. And here it is. Oops. In a darkened alley, I spied an alluring door, crimson and white, so inviting. I knocked and found the door ajar. I stepped aside. I stepped inside, wondering what I might find. Rows and rows of ribbons in black, delicate, silky, like a raven's wing, beckoning my soul. I just had to touch to feel. Hidden shards began to emerge, jutting outward from the waves of glass dust floating all around, thickening the air. The shards covered my skin, sticking, picking, and piercing, demanding to be let in. I wanted to scream, to run, but the reflective scales of many glistening sizes had silenced my voice, and my body went limp. With fragmented fog too intense to see, there was no more door, no more window, no escape. From this body, suffocating hell, I fell to the hardened floor, my fearful eyes filled with ebony tears. With a last rattled, brittle breath, I cried, I'm yours now. My fate you will decide. Now, this poem is an amazing piece, and it is definitely layered with many different pieces of imagery, especially when you go to the part where it says rows and rows of ribbons in black, delicate, silky, like a raven's wing. I mean, that imagery right there paints a beautiful picture for anybody. When I read this piece, now see, poetry is open to interpretation. And most of the time, whatever the artist is intending the message will be lost a lot of times on a reader. What you take from it, you as the reader or the listener take from the piece, will be based on your internal library, your life experiences, your emotions, your traumas, your experiences, basically. So when I read this poem, I am automatically provided with the image of a woman being pushed to be smaller than she is, made to conform and give in to the will of another person and let go of her desires and her wants and give in and stop fighting, almost as if she is broken. She has been broke and now silenced and restricted, almost bound of her potential, bound to, fit the needs of somebody else. Kind of brings forward to me the impression of, somebody who is inferior and complex, trying to make somebody that is beautiful and powerful small. And it would be, if that person didn't know that they were beautiful and powerful and had all these talents, it would be easy for somebody who is inferior to beat them down and make them smaller than they are. And why a person would do that is because they're afraid. A person who doesn't have that kind of self-esteem or doesn't believe in themselves would want to bring somebody else down out of fear. And mostly it's out of fear you would want to bring somebody down. But that's the imagery that I'm getting, of a person restricted and bound and made smaller than they are because somebody is fearful. And so that person wants to make them stay and comply and break their will so they won't go anywhere. If this be the case of the story, then, you'd want to see a person, instead of trying to confine or bind or conform somebody else, is to maybe work on yourself and become the person that you think you need to be able to be on the level of the other person rather than bring somebody else down. I mean, we all have potential, we all have capacities, and a lot of times we have more than we can even see, and we underestimate ourselves. So if I were to ever say anything, don't try to bring somebody down. Instead, stop underestimating yourself and gain yourself the tools that you need to become the person you want to be, to bring yourself to the level that you need to get to, over trying to bring somebody else down. If you find yourself wanting to attack somebody, it's because you're afraid of something. So what are you afraid of? Address it. Nobody should be bound, broken, or abused to stay. If you love someone, you will let them be themselves. You will grow. Anyways, once again, that poem was titled Ribbons in Black by Deonn Angleton. And it is part of a collection, Three Amigos, Ink and Splatter, The Lonely Soul in the Darkness, Volume 1, Issue 1. The collection is 5 issues for the first volume, and it's an anthology that includes artists and writers from all over the globe. The anthology includes things like meditation, short stories, graphic arts, music like lyrics, and various other things. So if you want to get yourself a copy, you can. It's available on Amazon in both grayscale and color. And if things go well, it will soon be available on Barnes and Noble in hardcover. Amazon currently has the softcover versions, and I'm working on getting together and revamping the entire collection and putting it in a hardcover format to be available on Barnes and Noble. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this poem and the work of Deonn Angleton. And I wish to bid you a beautiful good night or day, whichever it may be, wherever you are listening at this moment in time. Bye bye.